look forward to being able to deliver you those requirements.
Thank you, Senator Hawley. Senator Duckworth, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And good morning, Admiral Aquilino and General La Camara. I appreciate your service to our nation, and I want to thank those service members under your commands for their tireless work in tackling enormous challenges that we now face in the Indo-Pacific. As you know, I have been a vocal voice for combat credible logistics, and so we're going to talk about that again today. I've been consistent and loud in this committee about my concerns because I know how difficult effective sustainment can be. And I know that outrunning supply lines can result in a catastrophic loss of tempo for military forces. Right now, we are watching an object lesson in the importance and challenge of an effective logistics plan with Vladimir Putin's disastrous invasion of Ukraine. And that's a neighboring country with whom he shares a border. While Putin's ineffective approach to sustainment generally tracks with his patterns of arrogance and strategic failure, I hope that we are thinking critically about how much greater the sustainment problem will be if we are called to defend our troops and allies in your area of responsibility, a very far distance from home. Admiral Aquilino, where do you see the greatest gaps in Indo-PACOM's ability to conduct logistics in a contested environment? And how are you planning to fill those gaps, and what areas of the upcoming budget requests are most critical for your success? Whatever you can share is in this unclassified environment, obviously.
Yeah, thanks, Senator. The posture initiatives that we've laid out, and again, I'm look forward to coming to briefing you at a classified level on the approach, the plan, the hubs, the spokes, the different legs of our logistics plan. I'd love to show it to you. But the posture, the places that we're going to have to set up, critical. The transfer from one place to another and then into the region, whether it be sea lift, airlift, those are the second set of capabilities that we're interested in.
Thank you. Same question to you, General.
Thanks, Senator. Sustainment operations is a focus item for me, and it's commander's business. I made it very clear to my subordinate commanders. My discussions with Admiral Aquilino is, when does strategic movement become operational maneuver, and what combat power is going to have to be used to secure those lines of communication will be a discussion that we'll have in a crisis and in conflict. As we get different capabilities on the peninsula, where that line is, we might be able to provide that capability, and working with the ROC Navy, ROC Air Force, et cetera. That'll all be part of the integration going forward. But I can assure you that sustainment operations, not just getting to the pen, getting those supplies, but also in the fight in defending the peninsula is a priority.
Thank you. Gentlemen, last week I met with General Van Ovost, commander of the U.S. Transcom, who was visiting from Scott Air Force Base in Illinois, and she assured me that our strategic logistic requirements will play a larger role in the upcoming NDS. And I look forward to seeing the details when that NDS is released, but I will be closely watching to see how the department implements and resources that strategy going forward. Admiral Aquilino, I know you've been working closely with U.S. Transportation Command, which I think is important given the unique challenges of the tyranny of distance that poses to Transcom in your area of responsibility. One particularly concerning mission I discussed with Transcom was patient transport, wounded warriors. It's clear that in a contested environment in Indo-PACOM, we will not be able to evacuate patients from theater as quickly as we were able to in Iraq and Afghanistan. There are more challenges, and there might need to be a dwell time of maybe 5 hours, 6 hours, or 12 to 24 hours before we can transfer them to the next mode of transport. In the event of a conflict in Indo-PACOM, we will need to think outside the box established over the last 20 years in order to effectively care for our wounded. This is an area that I am ready and willing to support. Admiral, would you commit to sharing any analysis your command is conducting on medical mobility with me and this committee once it's completed? And will you commit to working directly with my staff on ways that we can partner with you to tackle this potential problem?
Senator, absolutely. So we've been working through a set of CONOPS on what does it look like, and as you articulated, in a really complex theater, most of it water. We've said, again, through this lens of hubs, spokes, transition stations, so I'd be glad to show you how we're thinking about it. But your point is really valid. This theater and this operation we won't be able to meet the golden hour.
Yeah. One final question. I'd like to move on to strengthening our partnerships in the region. Senator Blumenthal did talk about AUKUS, this AUKUS submarine deal, and how bold the Australians are. You know, they're all in. They put all their chips in with us. And as you and I discussed last year, I think we need to match their bold commitment to the partnership if we're going to make it successful, especially when it comes to submarines. Admiral, how can you support implementation of the AUKUS deal in your operations and planning for the region? And from your perspective, how can Congress support this partnership and be equally as bold, especially when it comes to components of the deal, such as they're building the capacity to build their own submarines?
Thanks, Senator. I think step one is to let this report run out, right? So they have some decisions to make, which are significant decisions as we work through the submarine portion. Once they identify a couple of key ways forward. You heard the other day they decided they're going to have a base on the East Coast. I think now we can kind of step in, partner with them, and work towards some of these posture initiatives. We work towards nuclear power school. We can partner with riders on submarines. There's a bunch of things we can do, but they really have to make some choices first, and I'm confident they're looking to go as fast as possible as well.
I'm out of time, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Senator.